Hello and welcome back to Motivation Effects, a little channel that could. My name's Dave. This video is entitled The Observer and the Observed. Your higher self has your back. This really isn't a complicated topic unless you haven't heard anything like this before, and then it'll challenge you, but once you grasp this, you'll never be the same. Let's start out with this truth, that we are two beings in one. The first being is our spiritual side. God, awareness, consciousness. This is the side of us that is perfect. He wanted to create a place where he could come and experience being limited. And he accomplished this by creating the dream that we are all living in right now. It's called Earth. And God comes here and plays all the parts of every man, woman, and child. So he created each and every one of us as a human avatar to experience this dream. God literally is experiencing this dream through our eyes. Not to mention, there's nothing that isn't God. So there are two beings, spiritual side and the human side, but you're one. These two beings can also be described as one being the observer and one being the observed. God, also known as your higher self, is observing. We, on the other hand, we're being observed. We're in the thick of the jungle. We're down here in the weeds, experiencing all of the good, bad, and different things that we encounter within our life. I like to think the observer is thousands of miles up in the air in a hot air balloon. He looks over the hot air balloon basket and he sees the entire map of, let's say, a 90-year-old life. So he sees birth and he sees the exit at 90 and everything in between. Let's say the human avatar is in year 45. He's experiencing some tough terrain. Maybe there's a swamp that he has to go through. Maybe there's steep mountains that he's having a hard time getting over. For a little while, we really don't have any contact with our higher self. And that's by design, because God wanted to go through the experience pretending that he wasn't God, pretending that he was limited, pretending that he was weak and frail. At some point, some of us are going to wake up mid-dream and realize, I'm not really all alone here. I have my higher self. At that point, you're aligned with your higher self, who can now guide your path. As long as you're willing to listen, you don't have to rely on yourself anymore. You have your higher self who sees everything from his little hot air balloon and can now inspire you to go right instead of left and take a different path around the mountain instead of trying to climb over it. So now it becomes easier to kind of navigate through this harsh terrain and get into the valley where it's a little bit more pleasant. It doesn't mean that you'll never go through hard times or challenges anymore. It just means now you have a direct contact to yourself, the higher self, who can see from above all the options and is always guiding you, directing you, nudging you, inspiring you as you go through the ups and downs of this life. I know imagining your higher self in a hot air balloon is a little silly, but I think it playfully describes what's going on. We do have our higher self. The Bible says, I and my Father are one, but my Father is greater. It doesn't mean he's better. It just means that he's in a higher position up over the landscape to be able to see what's coming down the pike. And if we rely on our higher self to help us, we will get through all the highs and all the lows and spend a lot more time in green pastures. So the bottom line is, you are the observer, you are the observed, and your higher self has your back. And that's it. Hope this helped. I'll see you in the next video.